say what? Look. I'm on tour right now.
New OGs. The New OGs is a State and Madison Entertainment production and is brought to you by Solar Masters. Look, Illinois is changing how people get their electricity, and Solar Masters is helping homeowners in Illinois take advantage of a program that lets them get solar power at no cost. So if you're a single-family homeowner in the state of Illinois, you can actually lower your electric bill, you can raise the value of your home, and you can do something good for the environment without paying a single dollar out of your pocket to do so. In fact, here's how crazy it is. Solar Masters can only work with you if they can save you money by letting you go solar. Now, Solar Masters is a Black-owned company. They're a SunPower dealer. That's an American panel maker with over 30 years of solar experience, and they even have a referral program that pays out as much as $500 per referral. So head over to www.gosolarmasters. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bobby!
Yep.
It sounds like to me, I just want to make sure I get this right for the people, man.
Right, we got to make sure this is correct.
It sounds like to me, you just said that if these people go with Solar Masters,
right,
they can save money on their bill, their electric bill every month.
That's correct.
They could do something to help the environment.
Helps the environment too. Yeah, of course. Solar is the future.
Solar is the future. The sun gonna be here for as long as we is.
If the sun leaves, it doesn't matter what type of energy company you're with. It's all over.
I actually had a customer ask me that. What if the sun goes away? I was like, well, you got other problems.
If you think I'm the first person you should call, you have screwed the boots on your decision making.
You got a lot more problems to be worried about how your electricity is getting to.
But yes, it helps the environment. Yeah, absolutely. Helps the environment.
And I think I heard you say, if they refer somebody who owns a roof, even if they don't have a roof of their own,
right,
they can get $500 every time.
Yeah, if that person goes solar, if they refer, they get $500 when that person goes solar.
Man, that's better than a big lip bitch with a lisp. She talk like that because her tongue's strong.
Oh my God.
You just got to find those chicks at a strip club. That's where I usually find them. But if you need strip club money, what you got to do is you got to get over to www.gosolarmasters.com. Refer a few people, make $500. You could at least get into the champagne room on that. You'll be good. You can get a free consultation, maybe refer somebody that you know. We are also brought to you by People of Comedy. Get over to People of Comedy on Facebook. Check out all the great shows they've got going on over there. I did see pictures of the show you guys ran over at North Bar last week. It looked like a clan meeting. It was great.
Felt like one too. It's not far.
Super funny dudes.
Fun crew, but also like, you know, if there was a thing called fit in the description for white people, they had done it. They had definitely.
Hey, how was it? Was it funny though?
It was
Sure,
well.
it was
That depends on the color of the person you ask, I would say, but definitely I think it was a good time. You'll never see or hear any of it, but it was definitely a good time. I brought 2 cameras and all my whole setup, and I'm never releasing it. So fuck you,
so
Todd and
can we do this? Can we get like a special screening? Because
sure.
I love Blake Burkhart, Dale, Damon. Who else was there?
Tim Weichelbaum,
Tim's cool.
Chris Damon.
Chris Damon's my guy.
It was an interesting evening. I'll tell you this much: I immediately edited, as I often do with that podcast. And boy, you want to take a guess at how many minutes into the podcast section I had to bleep something?
90 seconds.
Well, you're actually very close because it was a number of seconds, not minutes. It was 32 seconds before I had to bleep something.
Dale McPeak. It was Dale McPeak that
yes, it was Dale McPeak who said the word that we cannot say and no one should say in a room with 50 people in it. But I do love all those boys very much, and it was a good time, and I miss Todd, and he's down there killing it in Austin right now. He's getting drunk with buds who went with him this week. So
oh god, those two went on the road together. Is that
they're like married, dude? I don't know what the fuck is going on with them. Like they go everywhere together. It's kind of adorable, and I want like to start a Lifetime show with
part
them.
of that though. No, more so than that though. I mean, like that is literally like I would be less concerned if the part of that Dumb and Dumber were real and they were actually on the road together.
Right, yeah.
Than worrying about Todd and Bobby on the road together. Like those. Like I'm genuinely fearful for their travels.
Oh yeah, well, they've done it a couple of times already, and it's a miracle they haven't died in the
because I've seen those guys so hammered.
Oh yeah,
dude.
But they
Todd
exist.
Massey has one of the best stories ever about doing. I can't remember if he did shrooms or he did like MDMA. He went to a Grateful Dead concert.
He did 10 tabs of acid at a Grateful Dead concert from a stranger. A stranger gave him 10 tabs of acid, and he ended up
Grateful Dead concert. That's how that works.
I mean, you got to, and he ended up underneath Soldier Field in the secret jail they had, because he rushed to the stage after taking all of his clothes off. Todd is a wonderful person, and I love him so much. And to live in his body for a day would be
By the way,
spectacular.
that story has the most white ending ever, because he like woke up in the hospital and someone was like, "Hey, let's give you some clothes and get you home, buddy." Like there was no repercussions whatsoever.
Surprised
he
they
was
didn't give
telling me the story the night he got out of the fucking hospital. We were hanging out. I was like, "Wait, you were in the hospital this morning?" He's like, "Yeah, it was crazy, bro. Let me tell you what happened." Let's get the fuck out of here.
I can see Rob watching that, just going, fucking white people, man.
Yeah.
Like I could just see Rob just being like, there is no way a nigga could take his clothes off in the middle of Soldier Field and just end up coming out the hospital the next morning like everything
with
was
a great
good.
story, with just a great story.
Hey, dig what I'm saying.
No charges.
He would have came out the hospital, but it wouldn't have been over drugs. It would have been over ass whooping he took before they arrested him. Like, man, I was just thinking, like, when I worked at the jail, I worked at the jail in the mid-90s, and there were times when the entire Grateful Dead, the whole band was together.
Yeah.
And that's when you would see a slight spike in white people coming to jail. I swear to God, dude, I ain't lying, man. Like every other time, look, dude, I'll tell you, them motherfuckers come like around October or some shit like that, or like in the summer. It was in the summer because they had tents and shit, right?
Yeah, late summer.
At that time of the year, all the officers would be looking around, all the black officers like, man, the Grateful Dead must have been here, because you see 2 or 3 white boys everywhere.
Hey, you have just created a new special event for me and who's ever down with me. I'm telling you right now, the next time Grateful Dead come to Chicago, I am posting up at 26 in California.
Yeah, I'm just watching them intake.
I'm gonna give me one of the little lawn chairs. I'm just be sitting right there in the motherfucker.
Right,
and look, this is a parkway. There's a parkway right there. And I'll be like, they got another one. They got another one. We're gonna have a tally.
Yeah, just bring like a whiteboard or something.
Yeah.
We'll get a horn out there.
A whiteboard for the white boys. Like,
Right.
oh my God.
There you go.
Yeah,
We'll have a foghorn and shit. Or it'll be we'll get the Blackhawks. We'll get the Blackhawks goal siren. The fucking
dude, have a big sign telling the cops, honk if you arrested a white person. Flash the lights if you arrested a white person today.
Yeah,
that might be a new goddamn holiday. That's gonna be the new Juneteenth. That's the new Juneteenth.
That's brilliant, but I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Soon as the right white person drive by and see us out there,
or the wrong one.
Yeah, the wrong one.
they gonna send them motherfuckers out there. Look, and this is the thing. These motherfuckers are not really the police. They just feel like they are. They're jail guards, and they put them in a car. So these motherfuckers, they might have took a couple of classes on how to write a ticket. You know what I'm saying? But these motherfuckers ain't the real police. And they don't know how to behave in public.
Honestly, I could just...
They treat everybody like inmates, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I could just take up residence just outside of wherever they're performing and just watch the police vans there and just watch them. I would just cheer for them there. I'd be like, yes! Yes! Don't lower
I
his
love
head.
about Bobby. He always has a plan B.
Yeah, get them early before they've even been charged. Just cheer for them going. You know what I mean? They got you.
Woo, that's wonderful.
Hey man, X, what was your this is the new OGs. We are OGs. What was your you have any OG moments this week? Any moments where you're just like, shit. I am. Or maybe a realization you're like, fuck, I'm wise as hell now.
No. I had an OG moment. It's happening tomorrow, but the OG moment hit me 2 days ago when I found out about it. My family's having an impromptu get together because everybody's vaxxed, and it's a couple of my aunties all have birthdays in the last 2 weeks, so we turned into just a big birthday party and reason to get together. And I am in charge of the cognac. I am in charge of the cognac. Woo! I'm about to introduce the whole family to Douce.
Non-black people may not know how important this detail is for
Hey, it's an honor.
Event,
it's an honor. I know at least one of my uncles is gonna bring in some backup cognac just in case I fuck it up. He gonna have, because I knew this nigga was gonna bring some new bullshit.
There's gonna be some pocket cognac for sure.
I'm already telling you right now, before they even taste the Douce, somebody's gonna say, man, you don't experiment on holidays, man. You're supposed to do that shit when we just hanging out, watching the game. Here, man, try this. You don't experiment on special occasions. But I'm gonna introduce you to it because Douce and lemonade is the drink of the summer, every summer, because that shit is delicious. I don't even drink anymore, but the only thing I'm going to drink this summer, Douce and lemonade. That'll be the only thing I drink. Nothing else.
You say it like you're gonna have one of them. That will be like.
Oh no! I'm gonna drink copious amounts because this shit is delicious. This shit is delicious. You don't take it has no alcohol taste to it at all. It has a unique. It's just delicious. And then by the time you drink the third one, you like, oh, this shit's 40%. I forgot. Shit's 40%.
I made a grave error.
Yes.
Rob,
it sound like this. It's just 40%.
Rob, what about you, man? You have anything that hit home for you? Is being like,
it's been an incredible couple of weeks that I have been away.
Yeah. You're back home now. You were on the road. You were you were gone for the last 2 weeks. You've been out being Hollywood Hines.
Oh my God. You guys are awful. I saw that shit. I was like, oh man.
Newest guy gets vacation before everybody. You know what I mean? This guy been here for a month and a half. He already taken off on us.
Dude, that is so funny because I do so little. I do so very little in this organization, right? So that shit is so funny. Like, he is so correct.
It's 100%. It is 100%. Like, without actually trying to stump on us, that is just big dick energy of, yeah, I know I just got here, but I got other shit to do.
I'm be going this week and the next.
The reason I'm here, I gotta go keep making that shit happen. You know, y'all tell y'all little jokes. I'll be back.
Yeah.
And dude, that is the thing that I'm gonna try to make this really quick. So, okay, two things happened that stood out through the tour. One of them was Houston was amazing. I really loved Houston, but and Austin was cool the last time I went. Austin's cool now, but it's becoming more like, homogenized cool. But it's still in there.
Does that mean more black people in Austin?
Huh?
You mean, is Austin not weird anymore?
No, it's still very weird. But
there's just like a Lululemon there now.
Yeah. The weirdness has way too many Starbucks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow. Okay.
So
that used to be South Portland, so I get you.
Yeah, man, dude. So now I'm vaccinated. I'm all vaxxed up, and it's an outdoor. They close off 2 blocks in downtown Austin on 6th Street, which is down the street from my hotel. Everything's going on. So I go out there with a camera and a microphone, and I'm asking people questions. Now I gotta take my mask off to do it. And ain't nobody out here got no mask on. People just bumping into each other like bumper cars. I'm like, whoo, I'm glad I got my little shield. And every time they turn that motherfucking camera off, I put my mask back on. I'm like, you motherfuckers is crazy. And they were just walking around like everything was cool. And this is the first point I wanted to make. This little white woman walked up to me because it's a college town. And so this little white girl walks up to me and goes, what are you doing? Now, presently, I was speaking with someone, and she walks up to me and interrupts me.
You're on camera, like filming something.
I'm on camera, yes. And she just walks up, and I look at her, and I said, I'm interviewing someone. I can do you if you like when I get done. Because I'm finna tear this little half up. So I'm waiting. So she looks at me and goes, I don't have time for that. I'm going into the club. And that's when I turn my back as much as I could turn to her and continue to talk to dude. I didn't invite you. Now that was one thing that fucked me up. And the second thing was we were in Houston and we were shooting videos, like for real videos. I didn't know they were for real videos. They said, come here, we're gonna get some footage. I'm thinking, no, it was a goddamn video, right? And it's equipment and shit everywhere, and we doing it, and as we sit down.
Can I jump in I would clarify for the audience. When he says the video, that means he had a whole goddamn crew there, right? Yeah, cameras, lights, the whole setup.
Like you were filming, like
this ain't somebody's
level.
camera phone.
Right.
This ain't somebody walking with a camera phone. There's a whole camera crew and shit.
You were at a set.
Motherfuckers there with steady cams and shit, and lights start changing around me and shit, and music was different, and the people that was in there.
Did you walk into a musical? What happened? I don't understand.
Into a fucking nightclub and cleared out the fucking nightclub. You understand what I'm saying? The only people that was left in there was with me.
It was Rob and the Ghetto Boys in Houston. He
just guest starred on Zoe's crazy playlist and shit.
Hey man, and these little brothers was getting it in Houston. So this one brother takes me to a corner and he's like, "We're gonna do it again right here." So we doing the video, and this one guy is like sitting right there next to us. All the other people just walked away, like they just made him leave. And then when we got done, this one guy standing in front of me goes, "Hey man, who are you?" and I say, "You know, I played Jones Barbecue.
I'm Moby Combs."
yeah. So I say that, and he looks at it and he goes, "Nigga, that's you." So that was my moment. That was it, man. It was incredible, man. We had a great time.
That's
and
crazy.
I'm telling you guys, we will be in Chicago on the 17th.
Yeah, baby.
Nice.
So
You'll be in Chicago on the 17th. X, you've got a show going on at Comedy Shrine on the 20th. Is that
I do. We will talk more about it next week.
Yeah, okay. We'll talk more about it next week. It sounds like we're going to hold off on some of that for now.
Yeah.
Some other people who are
they
holding
have to
off.
edit that out the radio version.
It's here now. It's here forever. Who cares? We'll deal with it later.
By
the time it all happens, nobody will know anything anyway. Well, people forget this part if we don't drag on it too long. What did drag on too long was the marriage of Bill and Melinda Gates. That is,
man. This nigga segues. My boy,
dude, and you had another fucking transition ready for that, and you ditched it for a new. That's fucking. Can we all just take a second and like appreciate?
Man, for real, this is professional shit, y'all.
Jesus
Christ! I don't know if we got 15 or 1,500 listening, but whoever's listening to this shit, this is real professional shit right here. We fucking it up, but we got to take a moment. It's like the game stops and everybody applauds, gives a standing ovation.
Yeah, that was like his 16,000th assist or some shit.
Should be like an orchestral piece every time you do that. Jesus.
Motherfucker Chris Paul of the podcast.
Oh, shit. Bill and Melinda Gates are done. I don't know how to follow it up after that. Like, I can't. I just gotta dig into it now. It's a rough week for Billy, man. He's losing his chick, I guess. He's back on the street. There's the odds of like knowing that someone is sincere right now in Bill Gates' world is 0%, right? Like he's just got to be like, if there's anybody who should be taking some time alone right now, it's Bill Gates. Well, him and his lawyers should be
him and his lawyers. And what's up, Melinda? I don't know if you know this, but I've always been a big fan of you and how you made sure that it was the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. A lot of people forget that. I saw you, girl. So, I know this is a rough time. I don't want to be rude, but it's hot boy summer. And what's up? Get you a fat nigga.
I like the close. That was a strong close at the end there. Heavy pitch at the end. I'm
getting less fat every day.
My only pitch to Melinda is to actually give her fucking money up and pay some taxes. That's my pitch to Melinda. If you want real dick, give your money up and pay taxes, and then whoever you get it from, you'll fucking appreciate it. You know what I mean?
I was gonna get to that.
No, you weren't. You was gonna get to Melinda. That's what you was going.
It was a double hit though, because there's been an issue with the vaccine rollout to other countries, and there's been this big thing with COVAX and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation supposed to be donating all these vaccines. I think they've donated like 50 million so far, which is far less than what giving up the IP, the patents would do to like actually allow a place like India, which creates the most vaccines in the world, to just create the vaccine there. And they've been dealing with a lot of, it was a huge argument over the entire last week or so. It's been getting bigger and bigger from like a small little shout, and the TRIPS waiver would like start that process. And now on top of the fact that his woman left him and like the White House has come out in support of the TRIPS waiver, which would which would ruin Bill's chance to be the cute hero, right? Like that's his whole. That's his
so
whole
here's
gimmick.
the deal. So here's the deal. The often mentioned, and here comes the eye roll from James and Bobby. Rachel Maddow broke down what the game is happening here. Apparently, after 9/11, there was an anthrax scare, and we needed a specific type of drug. And Bayer Medicine was the only people who made it. They refused to make enough for America in enough time, so America threatened to use the TRIPS then. And Bayer all of a sudden changed their mind and said, "Oh yeah, no. Not only will we make enough, but we're gonna cut the price in half to avoid losing the copyright work." And that's what everybody's anticipating is going to happen now. Is that all of a sudden they're going to find a way to partner, do the shit that I was saying when we were talking about this offline. Is find a way to partner the same way that they found a way for Merck to partner with Pfizer, I think, to up the amount of dosages that they could get to the United States. They're going to have to do that partnership with these Indian companies and have some kind of copyright trust that it doesn't, or whatever. I don't know what the fuck the legal has to be.
But in some ways, but they'll get down to.
I don't give a fuck how they do it. They just got to figure it out.
Yeah, they just got to figure out
save the goddamn world.
Right, because the reality is this: like, listen, man. As long as there's a place where the vaccine can still, or where the virus can still run rampant, and unless you're gonna you're obviously directly, basically attacking a place by not offering them a solution, right? That can be had. But two, like anybody who can get out of that place is just going to carry that virus somewhere else and just start the problem.
I'm gonna tell you what, and I know this sounds drastic. And I'm not suggesting this in any way, shape, or form. But to any American that thinks that we shouldn't be doing every goddamn thing we can to help India, if you in any way think that somehow isn't our problem, India has nuclear weapons. And if they thought that their entire population, if we didn't help them, if I was them, I'd see that shit as an act of war. I'd see that because you are definitely attacking you're attacking us. I have 1 billion people dying from a disease that spreads very quickly, and you're actively not helping us. That's an act of war, in my opinion. So we got to help these motherfuckers, because if they get desperate enough, we in trouble. Well, I know that's a very far thing, but if you thought your population was going to die, why the fuck wouldn't you?
I mean, that is a little bit fatalistic to just think that would be the.
I mean, that's the very far end, but I'm just saying that shit. They have 1 billion people, and it's not like India had a lot of space to begin with. You know what I'm saying? That's not like that shit. That's not a social distance. I don't mean any disrespect. It's just everything that I know about India, even the upscale, very, very fucking modern cities like Mumbai and shit like that, they're crowded as fuck.
Yeah. 1 billion people in any nation is pretty crowded. I mean, for the most part, it seems like a pretty crowded idea. But it's so hard to be someone like, I'm an agnostic, right? Like, I don't have any hardcore religious belief towards anything, but yet I still believe that, like, you should do everything you can to save your fellow person, right? Like, that's just the way it should be. And like the idea that you can have a vaccine. Morals? Yeah, I know.
You
right?
have no God and
so
still have morals?
So
That's
crazy.
So wild.
I'm still a team people kind of person. You know what I mean? I'm still like, yeah, we might. If I'm one of these people, I think we should probably try and keep as many of us going as possible. That seems like the best way, right? Like, because I don't know, because it seems like it makes sense. I'm one of these things. Why don't we try and keep us all moving forward as best as possible? So it just strikes me that, like, so many of these people who claim to have religion in their life can be so dismissive of trying to help anybody who needs it, which is odd.
I don't know if people are evil, stupid, short-sighted. I don't know what the answer to this is, but it seems like every time there's a crisis, there's an answer that people who are I'm not gonna lie. I'm not about to sell myself short. Actually, I'm smart as fuck. But I'm not a politician or some shit like that. And I'm not anybody who knows anything behind the scenes.
Experience lies.
But I can figure out like how they're gonna resolve this. And I'm not part of it. So if I can figure this shit out, CEOs of these fucking pharmacy companies could have figured it out. But somehow every goddamn time there's a crisis in our planet, it always takes us to have to pin somebody against the fucking wall and threaten them and twist their arm with some shit for them to do the right goddamn thing. It's like, what the fuck is
Or it's
wrong
got to
with
hit close to
humankind?
home, or it's got to hit super. Like, remember the AIDS crisis in the 80s? Like, that's the thing our generation probably ties into really well. Is like when the AIDS crisis first hit, they pushed everything into the idea that it was just gay people.
Just gay people.
And of course, none of the elites or the rich people had gay friends, so who cares? Because they were too morally high ground to deal with to have gay people around them in their family. And then it became needle users, and it was like, oh, the needle using gay people are just the needle using junkies, which now they could say it was black people who were getting it because they were needle users instead. And so again, because they didn't have to, hey, listen, we're not friends with junkies or gay people, so it's not us. And then all of a sudden, Charlton Heston got AIDS, right?
No, it wasn't Charlton Heston. What was that guy's name?
Rock Hudson.
Rock Hudson, that was it. That was not Charlton Heston. I'm sorry. I always mix up Charlton Heston and Rock Hudson. It would be great if Charlton...
Hey, thank you, Rob.
Thank you for letting me grab me on that, because I was like, I know it's not Charlton Heston, but that's the name that came to mind because he lived longer because Rock Hudson got AIDS and died. But yes, Rock Hudson got AIDS. And a bunch of like, it started become, there was like a number of people who had ties to celebrities or people in power were getting.
He was friends with Nancy Reagan.
Right. He was friends with Nancy Reagan.
Not only was he friends with Nancy Reagan, but he was Rock fucking Hudson.
Right.
Yeah.
His name exuded American manhood.
Rock Hudson was so studly that the character in the Flintstones that was their superstar stud actor was named after him. Like when you see the Flintstones, when they talk about, his name was Rock Hudson Rock or some shit like that. And Rock Hud Rock or something like that. It was fucking Rock Hudson. Like that, he was, he was all American.
But they ignored it until it started really hitting close to home. Yeah. And, the thing with this virus is like, Herman Cain isn't close enough to the rest of these fools for, you know what I mean? Like if you want to see a true example
Herman Cain's family is still supporting Trump.
They're still tweeting shit about
They're still tweeting shit. I remember we had like a week after he died, he tweeted some support shit, and I think it was Ice-T. He was like, "Nigga, ain't you dead?" It was just tweeting that back, like what the fuck?
The Moderna shot, they said the booster for that is supposed to be very solid against variants, which is pretty cool. But there was a study that came out that said that we might be closer to 900,000 COVID deaths, not 500 and whatever, 55 or 75, whatever it is. Just from a number of different studies that they've been dealing with, and that the actual worldwide, the study says that COVID death is near 7 million, which is actually where it's from. And it's, of course that leads people to want to get into that argument because so many people have been led to believe that no one's been dying of COVID at all.
Dude, you know what's crazy? I've been waiting to say, I keep forgetting to make this post or whatever, or tweet or whatever, but your memories are going to start, if you haven't already started getting them on your Facebook, you're going to start seeing memories of all the fucking idiots that were denying that COVID was anything.
Yeah.
That coronavirus is anything. All the people having the fucking fights and shit, saying it was not going to be any big deal and shit. And the only reason I think I haven't seen any yet is because I blocked all the motherfuckers that did us. So I might not have those posts up. I might not see those craziness. But anyway, I had a post that said I didn't think Trump was going to win, but I was terrified of what was going to happen between November and January.
Okay. Anyway, well, I mean, that felt like that's a pretty safe take to go with, though. You know what I mean? It's a pretty safe bet. You did. I know. I said
I wish they had like one of those online bettings for that. I would have raked. Anyway,
you'd have made super big money on that one. They're actually starting to come out with some things are starting to open up. Cases are at a 7-month low, even though they're on the rise with young people. I think they're showing that there's a 22% rise in kids of new COVID cases, but they're also starting to get the vaccine down to some of the lower ages too. So it's a little bit of back and forth.
100% efficacy between 12 and 15.
Yeah, which is I mean, if you believe in vaccines, that's a great thing.
That's basically a cure.
There's some places that are starting to demand that you show proof if you want to get tickets to stuff as they start opening up, which of course is causing some mixed reactions too. But fuck it, go get it.
The people who are I mean, I made that post like 3 weeks ago, I think, right after I got first shot, so maybe a month ago. It's like they're going to start asking people to prove that. Like the whole point of having a vaccine card is that you're going to have to show it to somebody at some point. Like that's the whole point of having one. Why the fuck else would they give us one? So like the people who didn't get vaccinated that are acting upset about it, or even the people who got vaccinated who are acting upset about feeling some sort of way about showing a vaccine card, what the fuck do you think you got it for? Like you would have just got the vaccine and left. You wouldn't. No one would have handed you a card and told you to keep it, and told you that it was important. And the people who are upset about it, I think what the plan is they're not going to tax people for not having it. It's going to be a discount if you have it. So if it's something's $10, you're going to get it for $8 if you have your Vax card. And
it's a great way to do promotions for shit if you want to really encourage that. They're trying to figure out any way they can to encourage people to do it. They're paying people like $100 a pop in West Virginia to get it. Because
what that does is you could feel more comfortable having a packed crowd in, say, a comedy club if you know that, hey, just so you know, 95% of the audience showed a Vax card to get in.
I can go back to spitting on people.
Boom! In the mouth!
I've been looking. Rob, when you were in the military, did you go to any places overseas where you had to get any special vaccinations or anything like that?
I thought you were asking me spit in the mouth. But okay, I'm sorry.
As soon as you join the military, when they process you in, they vaccinate you. And they don't even, at that time, they wasn't even using needles. They just pushed this thing on your arm. They just shot it in there. Like it wasn't even a needle. It was just air. Oh, shit. And it was an assembly line of motherfuckers just standing there.
It left a mark, didn't it? It left a mark.
That one didn't leave a mark. You're talking about something that's older than me. That was
that's a TB shot. I think that was the one that was the old thing.
And I don't know one of them. But that's the thing that I'm like, this is the pattern that I'm seeing. And again, okay, every time it's everybody who doesn't want to do what we all need to do, find the reason not to find out that they didn't do what we all asked them to do, right? Anytime if the greater good has got to win out. And I understand that we have no reason to trust the people around us. But I'm saying if I can look, and you can tell me that they control the media to some extent, but when I'm seeing people burying mass graves, and I'm seeing these people with their face all fucked up from masking up, not knowing what they're going to do next, and they are exhausted. These people have become soldiers who did not expect to be so. And you going to tell me what they feeling and saying ain't real? Like that's what got me, man. The energy of it was just amazing.
I mean, I put this cover art for our shows together every week. So I go through this thing where I'm looking through pictures of the week from all over the world. So I'm like, what's an interesting picture I can use to try and set up what the show might be about, or something going on with the show or whatever. And seeing some of the pictures in India where they just got grave after grave after grave after grave. It's crazy, man. That this country is in a weird place of divide that they have then exported to a bunch of other countries, which, we've talked a bunch of times about the cause of that, but they continue to be on a divide about the thing. Even in the party that pushes the most insane shit, they're looking at pushing Liz Cheney out of Republican leadership for the sole reason.
Telling the truth.
For one thing though, because she still is not interested in doing anything that is liberal or democratic in any there's nothing she's interested in doing that is not conservative other than being in favor of the idea that Trump won the election. That's the only thing she's I can't roll with that. I can't roll with the idea that Trump actually won the election. And she voted for him.
92% of the time voted with him more than almost every one of the motherfuckers that are on TV basically stabbing her in the back. This is some Julius Caesar shit. I truly believe that the thing that people call the Bible is a collection of the history of a time and blah, blah, blah. And I think that there will be a Bible of this. And this bitch is going to be like a female Julius Caesar because they're stabbing her in the back in the middle of Congress.
You think too much of this bitch. You think too much of this
somebody's going to tell them. I'm talking about in their fucking folklore.
Hey,
not some shit my grandkids going to read.
She's noteworthy. So it even if you don't think highly of it, they got it everywhere.
She would have been the most viable candidate on their side of the aisle to be president. Of the women that they have that they think could be president, she is the only one that could probably get some conservative Democrat votes.
Well, she obviously has a pedigree. I mean, her father was the vice president, and so the real thing that's going on here is this thing where, and we've talked about on the show before too, like when we want them to push a vote to make the Republicans show themselves and be like, make them vote on a thing so they can be seen as who they are. They are actually pushing this into their own party where they're like, you got to decide whether you're going to be a Trump-loving Republican or whether you're going to be this conservative that like is of the old guard, right? And like they're making two distinct sides to this now.
Hey, you guys think Dick Cheney's gonna get Trump face shot off? Because
I mean, he's the one who does it though. He's the face shooter.
Yeah, I know. Like, hey, Donald Trump, I don't like you, but you might not want to go hunting with Dick Cheney. I'm just saying, like, if he call you and say, hey, let's work this out, let's go duck hunting, Donnie, don't do it, dude.
If they
actually do it.
If they hear that Dick Cheney is at the front gate of Mar-a-Lago, you gonna see Trump running away with that hair in the air going in the other goddamn direction. He don't want none of Dick Cheney, boy.
And Dick Cheney got a robotic heart. Yeah, yes, he is. He sucks. He is. He really is.
You ain't finna come up at no Sith Lord with that little Trump bullshit.
I wonder if he's gonna be out on the Sunday shows this weekend, man. Because I don't know if he's in condition, if he can still. I have no idea what condition. He has a
Dick will never die. He's got his heart doesn't even pump.
But but is he TV condition or is he Don Dick Cheney?
He's fucking.
I will never die. Like,
he's MODOK now. He's MODOK now. He's just.
yeah, he might be. Cause like they beat up. I know his little girl can stand on her own 2 feet. She's a grown ass woman. She's a cold political. I don't agree with her, but I actually respect her for this one stand that she's trying to make. A lot of those motherfuckers have no integrity. She's not backing down, which is fucking incredible. Cause like that. I mean. Do you think
she becomes a Republican? Do you think she becomes a Democrat? Do you think she would switch parties?
No, I think she runs for president. I think she runs for president and breaks the motherfuckers. Because if there's anybody on their side of the like I said, if there's a woman with an R next to her name politically that I think would actually have an opportunity to take over their party and take it back, it would be her.
I just think that all of it is amazingly stupid. It doesn't matter. I mean, I understand the point that we do the mathematics of it.
Right.
And what it amounts to is her name is Cheney. These motherfuckers do not give a fuck about Republicans. None of these motherfuckers give a fuck about party or politics or anything. What they care about is supremacy. And every chance they get to tell us this, we hear them. But we got to keep trying to convince these other dumb motherfuckers, like, because it don't affect them. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't affect them. And they don't have that ability to figure it out without it having touched them.
The chick they're talking about replacing her with, Stefanik, most of the party thinks she's too liberal. Most of the Republicans think she's too liberal. And the only reason she's even getting the spot is because she's super pro-Trump. That's the only reason she's had any. That's like they don't like her.
She went to.
They don't like her. They don't like her at all. The only foot she has in the game is that she's pro-Trump. Now Trump can't even get back on Facebook. The Facebook Supreme Court or whatever the fuck they call it.
They really do call it that. They really do call it the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I know that some people.
The oversight board, I think, is what it's actually called.
Really? Oh, I thought I heard somebody. Okay, oversight board. They like people. I think that Facebook needs to be regulated. I think they should be broken up. Instagram should be its own company. Messenger should be its own company. It's an easy split if you do at least like that. That's $3 fucking billion companies. Excuse me. Sorry for everybody. Jesus, that's gross. But that's $3 billion companies, and for anybody who boo-hoos that and talks about that's not whatever, it's very fucking American. The reason why there's a Verizon and an AT&T is because America did that shit before. in 1980. They broke AT&T was one. There was only one fucking phone company for all you kids that don't know this shit. This is some OG shit for you. There used to only be one goddamn phone company, and it was Ma Bell. And they split that shit up into 4 regions, I think, 4 phone companies.
Yeah, something like that.
It was SBC.
Some shit.
Yeah, there was a northwest, a south, a southeast, and a northeast. And the thing that is AT&T right now is actually Southwest SBC, whatever SBC was, Southern Bell. And the thing that is Verizon is actually the old AT&T.
Right.
I don't know why I gave everybody that fucking lesson, but my point is to say that the same thing can be done with Facebook. The 3 companies right there that can spend. WhatsApp should be its own fucking company. All those should all be their own solo
Facebook
companies.
and Messenger can be the same thing because you got to have it's a private message part of the Facebook, which is fine. But Instagram and WhatsApp should be separate companies for sure.
I would say Messenger could be its own thing because Messenger's camera feature and like video chat feature and all that stuff, it has its capability to be its own fucking service of just Messenger. And Facebook, you don't need to have if you have people on Messenger, I think you can separate them, and Facebook could create another Facebook messaging thing or something like that because it has a capacity and the size enough to do something on its own, I think. And I want more competition because more competition, that's how we get more cool shit. That's the one good thing about the system we have.
Enough to stand on its own, but Facebook has so many different elements what they do. They've got a Craigslist competitor, they've got a dating competitor, they've got a number of different things they could potentially
Plus,
look at.
a lot of people don't know this. Facebook and Google are at war for advertising. And most platforms that you look at, even when you're not on Facebook, when you're on other apps, those are Facebook ads you're watching. They're running Facebook ad servers or they're Google ads. Yep. But quite frequently they're Facebook. Facebook dominates that market right now.
Yeah. Did you see what was going on in Atlanta with Keisha Lance Bottoms? Did you see she's not?
Yeah, I saw she's not running, and I really am intrigued by what she's doing. I liked her messagization. Like I did this from a place of strength. Y'all get to make a choice every 4 years, and so do I. And I decided I don't want to do this shit no more. And she just had like a super huge fundraising thing. This is something I don't know how I feel about this in politics. When you have a huge fundraising thing like that and then you quit, you just keep that money. Like she doesn't have to give that money back.
Well, I don't know if I'd say quit. She's just.
I mean, she's doing her job.
She's not quitting in the middle. She's going to run out the term.
I mean,
she only got 4 years.
Yeah. She gave him 2 weeks notice or whatever.
She's working. I mean, it's a contract gig, man. It's a contract gig that you got to be reelected for, even.
But I'm saying she literally part of her speech was, and I'm a fan of Keisha Bottoms, Mayor Bottoms. I don't mean any disrespect. But she mentioned in her farewell address, or not farewell address, but her announcement that she had one of the biggest or the biggest fundraising drive of any mayor in the history of Atlanta because Biden came down just recently.
Thanks for the money, baby.
Yeah. And she like the way it works, unless Georgia has some different thing than the federal. I know the federal laws, they get to keep that shit. So... If you listen, to a fund,
who's to say she don't deserve every goddamn nickel?
I ain't mad at her.
I ain't mad at her. This. What I'm saying is, I'm not sure if this is the truth. I'm just saying that some things happened around this. Okay, she decides to quit right around the time they put that dude back on the street that killed somebody last time.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And
you are
I don't know if that's the case, but I'm saying that
you are right. You are right. Man, 100%. I'm riding with you, dog, because I know she had to have. I don't know what power she is on the board. I believe that board is independent of her, but I'm sure she had some kind of input with that board or influence with that board when they were deliberating. I guess they couldn't if it was input, but
I would guess the truth is she saw the lack of power that she actually could flex as a mayor. You know what I mean? Like the position is good, but she's watched Black men get killed in her city and not been able to do anything about that from a police standpoint. She might be looking at being like, I need to go approach this from a different angle than where I am because this isn't where I'm actually. I can't it's not actually power here. It is a holding position.
So, what's the next move
for her?
Governor.
She could run for governor. She could run for governor.
Be governor. It's got to be governor because they already got a brother in the spot in the Senate. All they got to do is support his reelection. So yeah, So that means that Stacey Abrams must not want the job.
I don't think Stacey Abrams does want the job. I think she wants something bigger. I think she's applying for something larger, man.
And also, there is not to say I hate to sound like I keep focusing on money, but there is that's part of the game. God damn it! And Stacey Abrams might be looking at her marketability and her name as a person who could get the vote out, a political organizer. She could go to literally. I'm saying that Alabama and Mississippi are right there, and the playbook should be able to work there the same, because all it is motivating a very large black population to come out that doesn't usually vote, and a young population to come out that doesn't usually vote.
Well, the problem with Mississippi is that they're in jail. The problem in Mississippi is that all the black people in Mississippi are in jail.
I don't know what percentage. I know that there's a lot of black.
It's pretty close, nigga. It's pretty.
Well, I know a lot of free black people in Mississippi too. I don't.
Yeah. I'm just saying. This is like when you get to. I'm just saying when you get to when you get to the number of free white people and free black people.
My family from Mississippi. Watch your mouth. No,
mine too. So, how many of our families are not from? We're all from Mississippi somewhere out this line. God damn it! Like.
I don't trust a motherfucker who ain't got no family. If somebody tell me they ain't got no family from Mississippi, I don't trust them. I don't fuck you.
Hey,
like you black person, you ain't no family. You ain't got no family in Mississippi. Where you come from, nigga?
The real
Where
thing
you come from? No.
The real thing with Stacey Abrams is, and what you said about money is correct, but not in the way you think. Like when they're looking at actually running for higher offices like vice president, it's how much money can you raise? And her ability to raise money on a national level with the work, if they can take what she does and can make that a national level size thing, she can prove she's worthy of running for vice president at some point or president, because she can amass the money to back her. And that's the real thing that they've got to look forward to.
She also just came out with a new book.
Yeah, she got a new book, so she's gonna be financed heavily. She got the money in the bag.
Yeah, she's fine. To me, she's fine. I love.
Oh yeah. I like that gap. I like the gap. I don't know what it is. I swear to God. Oh, woo, I'm sorry. I'm Stacey. I don't mean no disrespect. I'm sorry, Rob.
This is definitely very generational for us.
Yeah, Rob did that to me. I did not mean any disrespect.
Time out. Hold on. Time out. No, you're not gonna do this shit to me this time. Here's the thing.
She couldn't just be good at her shit, huh?
No, fuck that. When you have been oppressed for as long as we have been oppressed, sometimes it's good to hear that you look good, especially when every image that they found in your brain don't look like you.
Of course, yeah.
So that's why I say what I say. I don't give a fuck about none of that other bullshit. These people try to build a shield against me. I don't give a fuck about none, or not me, but people who think the way I think.
I was about to say, okay, Trump, calm down.
No, there should never be a time we should be made feel guilty because we tell you are beautiful. That's
fair enough. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, okay, there you go.
Maybe. I mean, sometimes. I mean, I'm with you sometimes. Sometimes I'm not with you on that. You tell some women who don't like that why they don't like it, and actually listen, and you might feel a little bit differently about it, because we shouldn't be deciding for the woman like what she should be comfortable with hearing.
I understand that.
That's all I'm saying. Is like, it's not up for me to decide. If women say they're not comfortable with us constantly having to finish everything, telling them how beautiful they are on top of it, then I'm just not going to do that. Right? Because it's not up for me to decide what they should be comfortable with. That's all I'm saying.
Allow me to say this.
Yeah.
I am smart enough to not say some shit like that to someone who
of course
feels uncomfortable around me.
Of course. I would never think. I'm not saying you're trying to
the world from where I sit. You see what I'm saying?
I'm not trying to say you're trying to make anybody uncomfortable on purpose.
I tell her, when I see a sister and I tell her who feel like she looking bad, and goddamn girl, you look good today. I already know.
Of course.
See what I'm saying? So that's
absolutely.
And the other point I just want to make real quick is that a lot of these sisters ain't getting it.
Of course.
And so that's why they welcome it.
I just want you guys to know at home, we had an HR meeting last week, and everybody's a little bit uptight because
I didn't write the red book, but they will enforce it, and I just want to be careful. I'm trying to look out for everybody.
They made us watch a video.
You see the story about this dude in Ohio, this lawmaker who was supposed to be attending a meeting about distracted driving, about a bill for distracted driving. And he attended the meeting, and the picture of the dude he's got a seatbelt on. Now he's got a Zoom background up, but he attended a meeting about distracted driving while he was driving in his car.
Driving distracted.
Wow.
Let me ask you.
Wow.
James, I'm going to send this to you in the chat so you got it. I'm going to send you the link to it, and when you open the link, you'll be able to see.
I
that
can't
it's in
wait.
There. It is hilarious. He's literally. It looks like he's sitting in an office somewhere, but he's also got a seatbelt on, which is just not how unless he's got some issue
so
where
he
put
the background up. The motherfuckers, wow.
Yeah, it's in the chat now. If you're at home, if you search for Ohio Senator use a Zoom background to hide the fact he's driving.
Here, I'm going to put it up on screen for everyone.
Yeah, put
up. Hang on one second.
It is. He looks like he's so involved in everything going on, but he's kind of fucking. It's just, in the midst of everything that's crazy. The idea that also this homeboy's got this going on. And this is why America is doomed, ladies and gentlemen. There's no way we're gonna make it if this is.
That's so happening. Good, dude. Oh my god, bro.
He thought he was free and clear. You know what I mean? Oh,
this is the coolest dude in the world.
What's this meeting about? Distracted driving. Oh shit. Throw this Zoom background up real quick so they don't know what's going on. At least I have my seatbelt on. You know what I mean? Like at least I have a seatbelt on.
What a king, dude. Holy shit.
Standard has to raise as the technology does.
Like, okay, here's a question. What would he like? He's looking around back and forth, like he's ready to make a turn. He's checking like if he wasn't driving a car and I'm in a meeting with him, and if you just start doing that, Bobby, I'm like, hey, Bob, what the fuck is wrong with you? What are you looking at? Like I get distracted. Like, I have shit going on while we're doing this. If you watch this show, you will see me look off camera because I used to have my shit set up weird and I couldn't look at the camera. I'm set up better now. I don't have to look around as much. But early on in the show, I used to do that. But not this.
That's so.
Here's the thing that's more upsetting for me. What kind of car does he have where he's got a Zoom background that works while he's on the drive? I barely have my shit working. I'm sitting in the crib, man. Like I gotta get lights up and going to make it all work. Otherwise, I blend into the wall and shit. This motherfucker's in the car and his Zoom background works great.
His COVID cover was a green screen.
He was an Uber driver along with being in Ohio State legislature. Is that what you're suggesting of this man? Times is tough in the Ohio State legislature. I got to do everything to keep these dollars rolling in.
Go Buckeyes.
Still in the Midwest, did you see Derek Chauvin has filed for a retrial or a new trial? He's filed for a new trial. They're claiming a bunch of shit, everything from that the jury should have been sequestered to the jury selection was fucked up somehow to all types of different crazy shit. Yeah. We were talking about this before the show. If I was him, I wouldn't want to be free. That's not
that's not a good look, son. That's not what you want
on this earth with us. With us.
Hey, you know what? There's a police station in Portland. Like, please, no, don't do it. Don't do it.
The last police station in Portland is like, come on, man, just go to jail, dog.
Hey, let me tell you something. By the way, I want to send a shout out to white people in Portland.
White people in Portland love shout outs.
Because I was looking up something because I was having a conversation with somebody else. There's only like 81,000 black people in the state of Oregon. That is, like not Portland, in Oregon, the whole fucking state. So all that shit that's going down in Portland is a bunch of mad ass white boys, man.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, the 80,000 black people are also upset, but no, you niggas stay home. We got this.
Hey, that's a lot of it's a lot of boning you got to do if it's only 81,000 of y'all to get them to love you. You gotta do a lot of boning.
Like either those 81,000 brothers and sisters are on some cold ass Black Panther, like the Lost Tribe of Black Panther, some paramilitary shit. And these motherfuckers are just tactical and cold and fuck that their little 81,000 army is cold, or it's a lot of white boys helping them. So
yeah, there's probably some help going on. There's some help going on.
And most of them people probably live in Portland. Most of them.
South Carolina is trying to bring back firing squads, which is obviously just because they want to directly shoot Black people instead of letting something like an injection do it. If you're not familiar, South Carolina is famous about George Stinney. He was executed in South Carolina. He was, 14 years old, I think, at the time. And the story became famous because he was so small when they went to execute him, when they put him on the electric chair, that they had to put him on a stack of books, and the helmet didn't fit right. And so, they're back interested in trying to do firing squads, which seems like the opposite direction that we should be trying to go with this whole, like,
the problem is they starting
concept.
The problem is once you start convicting the police, well, if you're gonna take ours, you got to take one of yours.
Right? Yeah.
It's insane to me that people even want the death penalty. Like I remember I used to want it, but like it takes one Google and problems with the death penalty. Google that shit, and you will go down a rabbit hole. When I was a kid,
you go down a rabbit hole if you don't want to kill Black people in the end, right? Like if you find that to be problematic, that a bunch of Black people are getting killed by the death penalty that shouldn't be dead, then
a bunch of Black people. But I also want to add a bunch of poor white people too.
You gotta want to be mad about that too.
Yeah, poor white people should be upset about this shit because basically, When I was in college, I didn't study anything that had anything to do with the death penalty. My college made us do a moral quandary. You had to look at it like something that society argued about of whether or not it should exist, and I picked the death penalty. And I was pro-death penalty. I was excited about arguing why we should kill motherfuckers that did horrible things. And when I found out that it was only Black people getting killed and poor white people, and basically the most common denominator to decide whether or not you got the death penalty was if you were a person of color or if you were a poor white person, that was it. You were getting the death penalty for similar crimes that rich white people were getting jail time or not even convicted. So it turned me around real quick. And also the state of Illinois, for example, has had a moratorium on the death penalty for over 20 years because they have exonerated more people than they have executed, which is actually zero since 1977, I believe. And there were 17 people at the time of when they said, we're just going to cancel even having a death penalty because they exonerated 17 motherfuckers that DNA evidence proved that they couldn't have done the crime.
Yeah, when you start with unfair trials and just grabbing people off the street for shit, and then a bunch of people that don't spend time actually getting to know other people, and so they think that a whole different race of people just all look similarly, and as long as they get somebody, they need to deliver some justice. Those are all themes that have been used as excuses to.
There was a guy from my town that in 1983 was convicted of murdering a little white girl in Naperville, and the DuPage County prosecutor, the sheriff, and a bunch of officials actually ended up going to jail, losing a job, and going to jail because DNA evidence proved that he couldn't have possibly done it. And they had he had been saying the entire time that they forced a confession out of him and that he wasn't even anywhere around and didn't know the girl at all or anything like that. And it found out that after the DNA evidence proved that he couldn't have done it, they went back and looked at their tapes and recordings of the confessions finally and found out that it was clear that they were coerced. It was clearly that they had beaten him and done stuff like that. All they had to do was
extra bumps on his head, and he was like,
they actually had the evidence. But they refused to look at it because everybody was so convinced that this Hispanic dude, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, because it's a dude from my name. I actually know his family. I can't remember. can't think of his name right now. They were so convinced that he did it, they refused to look at it. Yeah, there you go. they refused to look at the evidence, and then once DNA, because DNA didn't become a thing until the OJ trial. A lot of people don't know that. It did become a thing that was used in court and crime, shit like that.
They invented some shit to get that dude.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna try and catch this because we don't invent DNA testing. We've invented it.
DNA existed obviously before the OJ trial, but it didn't get used in that fashion until then.
Right. Yeah.
And after that happened, a lot of people started. A lot of lawyers and people who had been saying that they were innocent and forced confessions and shit like that, they started asking for DNA evidence because that would exonerate them, and it did. And the case, I think her name was Nicario or something like that, Naperville. Don't
waste time trying to remember.
There you go. Anyway, look it up. In 1980, I know it happened in 1983. A little white girl in Naperville got murdered. Anyway, that's it. And they had to let them go, and they found out all those dudes were lying, and they put them in jail.
A federal judge in Columbus, Ohio, has ordered police to stop using force, including tear gas, pepper spray, and rubber bullets against nonviolent protesters. He said officers ran amok during the protests in Columbus last year during the George Floyd shit. No shit, man. They ran amok everywhere. Can you maybe send that memo off to some different places? That's
maybe let's start a trend.
Show me the times when they didn't.
Right. Their presence is a muck, okay? Their presence is a total muck. It's a muck of everything going on. I sent this to you guys earlier today. Did you watch that clip of homeboy in Colorado who called somebody buckwheat in session?
Yeah.
Wait just a minute, buckwheat, and just
almost. And that's a term of endearment. He knew he fucked up. Because he tried to say, and I mean that as a term of endearment. You wouldn't have to say that if you meant it as a term of endearment. No, everybody would have,
obviously that's a term of endearment, guys.
Everybody would have recognized it.
All the people that I work with. Of every motherfucker in this room, I decided to call your black ass.
So here's the thing that's fucked up, because you sent that, and when I read the description before I clicked on it, and so I wrote back in the chat, you mean Congressman that just about to get his ass whooped? And then I watched the clip and I heard the dude in the background. That dude was about to get his ass whooped.
Oh yeah. Look, a black lady had to come and be like, she was doing some shit. Then the sound cut off because the lady had to gavel the session out. She was like, like homeboy.
They might be still whooping that nigga right now.
Somebody yelled some shit from the back, and this chick was the lady running the show was like, we go into recess. It's a recess, and they cut the mics, and everything else is off mic.
I can't wait till they send a band to his house. Boom, boom.
Hey, I love the fact that the white lady with the gavel, I'm sorry, I don't know who these people are. The white lady with the gavel, she caught the buckwheat. She was like, hey.
Oh, yeah. She's like, we will not be doing that shit up in here, dog. She was an old white lady. She was like, no, even I know buckwheat is terrible.
Yeah, you know the racism is bad when an old white person is like, whoa.
She had an old checklist from back in the day, and she was like, wait a minute, I remember that one was not okay a long time ago. We ruled out buckwheat in the 70s, motherfucker. You can't be calling people buckwheat no more. That shit ain't
making that gavel like ice, 3 times.
Oh my God.
Yes. That is the new Eddie Murphy fans don't know about that one. They're gonna have to go back.
They have no idea.
That's one of the no, that's exactly what this is, man. If you're a Generation Xer, you watch that shit live. Yeah, God, that shit was so amazing. The first time Eddie did that, but it was so great when he played.
Buckwheat, damn it.
Oh my God! No, that was Gumby.
Oh, that was Gumby.
Gumby was gangster with his boy.
Yeah. Buckwheat had the album release. He was the one.
Yeah. The late night. Remember when he got shot? Oh my God, that was the best shit ever. They had that shit on the news like it was Reagan when Reagan got shot. They kept playing it back. They did that shit in slow motion.
Yeah, the slow motion.
Oh my God,
that sketch was so fucking amazing. That was so amazing.
It was so great. Do you guys see what happened with Peloton? They recalled all their treadmills. This has been like the workout company of the last year. Peloton, they sell the bikes and all the different workout shit. They put out treadmills. I guess they were trying to step their game up. They couldn't just have bikes. They had to fucking get into the treadmill game. Some baby got fucked up on a Peloton treadmill.
I've been trying to buy some shit. And put in my garage and stuff. And all of those things, no matter what it is, no matter what kind of machine they sell you on the commercial, when you go to their website, them niggas got 19 other ones ready to sell you too.
Oh yeah. You just getting started. They got to sell you a powder and some pills. There's a workout mat. There's bands. They just get you boat weight. There's more. They will boat weight. There's more you into a $5,000, $6,000 sale. If they can boat weight. There's just for doing this today.
It's funny because
take all that shit back. Then
you see your neighbors with like gloves that say Peloton on it, and be like, they got you.
Oh yeah, you bought in wholeheartedly, dog. They got your whole.
Nigga, you bought the gloves. Nigga, you sitting in your living room. What the fuck are you doing?
Who you showing off them gloves to?
Hey
the
man,
neighbors?
I'm on this bicycle.
Like, you get bike gloves because when you ride your shit, the bumps and stuff, there's friction. I used to bike. That's how I exercise when I play ball and shit. I biked a lot. You had gloves because you get calluses on your hands. You're in your living room. There's no friction.
And it has cushions probably on the handle somehow.
I have a neighbor that has the gloves. I hope they don't watch the show.
You literally making fun of them right now. This is what gave you the idea. This is
I just realized I was like, yeah.
hold the glove.
How about this glove, motherfucker? So we talked a while back about how Amazon was putting cameras in their delivery trucks to keep an eye on the people driving, and how the cameras would turn on whenever they made a fuck up, so they could track all that shit. There's a new report that came out from Vice that said that drivers are actually being encouraged to disable an app called Mentor, which tracks their drivers' actions and gives them a safety score in order to speed them through making deliveries. So basically, Amazon started a program that's supposed to be monitoring their drivers, and then they've got their dispatchers, who are human beings who are trying to get shit delivered quicker, telling their drivers to turn that shit off. Which is, I mean, that's about it.
Working against the machine.
Yeah, no shit, man. That's like, the reality is, just take the goddamn shit out of there. You know what I mean?
This is what's going to start the war. Because, Amazon is like 95% algorithm. They're like, Jeff Bezos don't do shit. And the machine is going to get sick and tired of the humans fucking up his plan, and it's going to strike back. I'm telling you, that's what's going to start the war.
I
thought that was a funnier premise. I'm sorry for slowing down the show with that. I thought that had legs. I thought you guys would jump in on it. You motherfuckers abandoned that shit like
I just calmly agreed. I was like, yeah, that'll probably be.
I was just thinking, it appears that it has already happened to black people, because most of these algorithms don't do shit you need them to do any fucking way. Or if they do things, they do the things in a way that America's always done it, which means you always end up on the short end of the stick.
Oh, I think there's a Hotep moment coming.
Give me that 400-year head start shit, Rob. Hit me with the 400-year head start.
Come on.
When you give McDonald's a 400-year head start, you got a lot of catching up on your burgers to do.
No way around it.
I am with you. This is what will help somebody maintain a head start. A Texas dealership got caught running a secret black market for guns and ammo. Texas car dealership, by the way. Not like a Texas gun dealership. Texas. They were. The Miami Herald reports that the feds busted a dealership in Texas for selling weapons and ammo out of the dealership. The car salesman opened the rear hatch of a black Ford Explorer at the Texas dealership, revealing 3 rifles and what appeared to be over 2,000 rounds of ammunition.
Hey man, I was just in Texas, and I'm saying, like, every other rest stop got a gun store in it.
Why are you selling them out of your car dealership then?
Because you can. Why wouldn't you? Because it's a demand. You know what I'm saying?
Is that like selling Lucy's in New York? Is that like, he's got to do with a jacket. He's just like, I got a fucking Glock 45s. I got me an AR-15. What you need, homie? You just downtown Dallas, dude. Just like, come into my alley with me. I'll sell you some shit.
You know, it's so crazy. I'm saying it's guns everywhere. Like everywhere. Like they got gun stores like Hollywood got Starbucks. They like everywhere.
That is so wild, man. It's so wild. I don't even know, man. Like, it's just, there's no way you can solve a gun problem when you got shit like that going on. It's just not going to happen.
I don't understand. I mean, I gotta restart that. I understand that the people who think there's going to be a war and they're stocking up on guns and shit like that, they have the whole war chest and shit. But like, there's way too many of those dudes. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, there's a place near my, not that far from my house, that has gun safes that I can walk into and sit comfortably. Like, that's how big they are. And they have a huge selection of them. They don't have like a few. It's not like 5 of them.
Right.
There's like 40 of them.
They have stock. Which means they sell them, right? You mean
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're moving these motherfuckers. And I remember being in that place one time with my boy, another brother, and we were only 2 black people in the place. And I'm like sitting inside the fucking gun safe thinking to myself, I say out loud, who the fuck needs this many guns? And he looked around and goes, every motherfucker in here but us. every one of these motherfuckers in there had that type shit.
Yeah, I've always thought it weird. I have a friend who's got a bunch of guns, and he always took joy in showing off his gun collection. And it just seems so weird to just like have that be a thing you want to, because they're murder weapons. There's no other tool for them. It's just like to be murder weapons. And so it's so weird to be like, here's my, exotic paintings, my art that I've got on my wall, and here's my collection of things I used to just slaughter whatever I might decide to slaughter when it comes down to it. It's an odd thing to want to show off. It's a weird deal. But not surprising for Texas.
Full disclosure, we sell a pilot. I am getting one of those gun safes.
Yeah. I'm
totally, totally, 100%. I'm going to be one of those people. I'm going to have it crazy.
I don't.
I'm not going to show it off, but I will have a collection for that ass.
I don't understand why you don't got one. If everybody around you get armed, God damn it, get armed. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing.
Do you guys remember?
No, man. I got these white folks gonna protect me. No, I'm just kidding.
They will not. X is bought in, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I have not. I am totally kidding. No, 100% comedy.
Here's something from our generation. When I first got online, everybody had an AOL address. I think Rob still has one.
I still have one. And I think my brother's paying for it. I don't know why he keep giving these people money.
He's paying for it?
I do believe he is. I don't understand why.
AOL and Yahoo were some of the originals. You know what I mean? Like, well, not the originals. Yahoo came a little bit later, but AOL is around. I mean, they used to send out the disc with the internet.
Yes, CompuServe. Remember CompuServe?
We need to begin a class action lawsuit if there's people still paying for AOL. I'm not kidding.
Don't pay for email, y'all. It's for sure a free thing. They will advertise you all in your shit, but they don't pay for it for sure. They just let Gmail advertise.
That for real needs to be a class action lawsuit. That's a real thing.
AOL and Yahoo are both owned by Verizon recently, and they have both been sold off again, which is weird. It's a weird fall to watch a company like internet companies that were giants at one point and were like backbones of our youth as far as being involved in the internet start to fade off to these other places and kind of become irrelevant in the face of even these companies have lost out to the giants in Google and Facebook and all these other places, which I think is a little wild.
Because I still have an AOL account, they consistently ask me for stuff. They consistently ask me to take surveys and shit of how they could make their service better. And not only that, now they are adding ads to your email. They have an ad at the top of your email.
Jesus. Yeah, like you shouldn't have ads if you're paying for it. That's for sure. That's definitely a thing that shouldn't happen. Speaking of paying for, Twitter has a new tip jar that they're starting a tip jar where you can actually tip people for tweets, which is pretty interesting. The trouble with it though is that it may reveal your home address, which is something that is not awesome. I'm sure there's a certain setting out you got to deal with, but it may reveal your home address. It's a weird thing. It's a PayPal Twitter tip jar. If you send a person a tip using PayPal, when the receiver opens up the receipt from the tip you sent, they get your address. So,
fuck that.
I don't know. May not be time for that yet. May not be time for that just yet. You know what I mean? You might want to hold off on jumping onto that. Elon
My
Musk.
girlfriend don't even know my address. That's
You just what do? You Batman her every time you bring her over? You hit her with the spray in the car and just like she just wakes up in your couch. That's not weird at all. That seems like a very
it's role play, man. She's into it, but
I thought you were gonna say it's romance. I was like, it is, I guess. Elon Musk is hosting Saturday Night Live tomorrow. I can name a lot of people who should have definitely hosted SNL before Elon Musk. It is, however, boosting up a bunch of the altcoins that I've got right now.
I need to know what to do.
Can I bust in here for a second?
My doggy coin and my Bitcoin are on fire right now.
As we speak, in the last 3 minutes, doggy coin hit 69 cents for the first time. It is currently at 71 cents. It's up 10% in the last hour. So,
jeez.
Well, holler at me after this. I need to know what to do.
I just took a look at my stuff. It's a good day
back
right
down.
now.
There it goes, and it's the cliff.
Still at 69. It's okay. It's Ethereum is up and Bitcoin is up, and we are draining the world of all of its energy.
Let's go! Burn it down.
We'll get all this money just in time for us to burn into a fire. But anyway, Elon's going to be hosting Saturday Night Live. I've already watched him do a couple promos for it. Hopefully he only shows up in a couple things because he doesn't look like he's got the chops.
That motherfucker, man.
To be honest, sometimes it's one thing. Here's the thing. It's one thing. Like sometimes guys who are in occasionally somebody's like, I could do a couple things. You know what I mean? Like I could do 2 things. And apparently his 2 things are start an electric car company and go to Mars. Those are the 2 things he's got.
Yeah, those are his 2 things.
He shouldn't do no other things though. Shouldn't name babies.
Tony Stark's not a real person.
Talk on camera. He's not that suave. Let me just say that.
Here's the thing. Here's why I believe he shouldn't be hosting Saturday Night Live. I've seen him talk about Tesla, and Tesla is something that came out of his own imagination, and that shit was horrible. So I can't imagine what he's going to do with somebody else's words and imagination. If the thing that he's a billionaire, he has probably very good people writing for him. And when he talks about that, it is not exactly like he's dazzling the world with his charm when he talks about that. So I can't see him being good on this shit.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a great time. It may be an interesting thing to watch. Who knows what the hell is going to happen? But I will probably still watch it.
Oh yeah, I'm going to watch it because Weekend Update alone is worth it. And I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of the cold open he won't be in. There's going to be a lot of stuff without him, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I hopefully they won't. Hopefully they won't find him in that cold open. He
almost never use the guests in the cold open. I don't think.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my take on it. I'm glad he's going to be on there for one reason alone. Because now I might be able to make $10, $20 on whatever this shit is y'all talking about. That's what I was saying. Like, if it's going to help me, I don't give a shit. And I don't mean that in the global way. I mean, in this moment, for this thing, I want to be a part of this, and this is going to help it. I want to see how it starts.
By the way, I learned today. I have been calling this shit the wrong name. I did not. It was Doggy Coin. I learned that just now, earlier.
That's
what I said.
I was just being
Dogecoin.
I was just being silly. It's Doggy Coin.
Oh god damn it! I was just like,
look,
shit, I've been calling.
XL,
I was calling it Doge, and I was like, oh shit,
it is
Doggy.
Doge. But it's also not even fucking real.
It's whatever you want it to be, baby, because it's not real, baby.
This is
whatever you want it to be because it's not even real. It's a spit in the face of commerce. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Well, whatever you put in, you just got to be ready to get out before it gets crazy.
I hope Conros likes anal and this shit goes to like $10.
You hope who likes anal?
Commerce.
I was like, who the fuck is he wishing anal on? God damn.
I thought he said Congress. I'm like, wait a minute.
That's what January 6th was. Oh, man. X, where you at this week? You do anything crazy? You got anything going on?
Oh, shit. Is it the end of the show already?
Yeah, we're here, man. We've made it.
Fuck. Hey. Yeah, I got... no, I can't talk about it yet. There's some cool stuff happening.
I'm gonna vague book it.
Yeah.
But where can they follow you to find out the announcements if they want to follow the announcements?
At XO Comedy on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of it. Get your ass kicked on the sticks. I'm playing MLB The Show right now, 21. My fastball is amazing. Come fuck with me.
Rob, anything happening when you go back on tour again? You're at the crib for the week. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm gonna be back in Chicago on the 17th of May. Get those tickets. If you buy them quick enough, we will add a second show. So please
get them tickets.
Yes, and it's Robert_L_Hines on all social media. There you go.
Yes.
I put it out there.
You can find me at Mocha_Jesus on Twitter and Instagram. Find the podcast at New OGs Pod. Go to People of Comedy at People of Comedy and at People of Comedy Network. Tell your mothers Happy Mother's Day on Sunday. Enjoy
Happy
your
Mother's Day,
if you
Mama.
got one. If you don't, we love you anyway. I'm sure somebody hopefully was there for you. We'll catch you next week. Right here. That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Go ahead. Can't find too many better than me. All about getting cheddar indeed. Growling mozzarella, palmas on cheese. Say you ballin', but not in my league. Say you ballin', but not in my league. Yeah, whole lot of niggas changed since we came up. They could try to steal the moves, but they ain't us. Thank you, gang, but nigga, you a stranger. Bitches wanna fuck, but nigga, you can't blame us. Whole